Hey everybody, welcome to Matt's Metal Show. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about the one, the only, Judas Priest. And I will tell you right now, I had a tough time with the Megadeth ranking because I fucking love Megadeth. I had a really fucking hard time with Judas Priest. I had like a really hard time. Judas Priest has always been one of my favorite bands. And like to rank these albums, dude, I had to go back and listen to, like, ooh, do I, ooh, People are very opinionated on Judas Priest albums, and it's funny. There's a lot of songs out there that people like totally shit on, like "Living After Midnight." Man, that's one of those songs where everybody's, I fucking hate "Living After Midnight." How the fuck do you hate "Living After Midnight"? I know it's simple. It's not this fucking grandiose fucking. It's not fucking Bach or Beethoven or fucking Mozart, but it's fucking awesome. You fucking living after midnight, rockin' till the dawn. I mean, come on, how the fuck do you not like that? So I'm gonna go over. There's 18 studio albums from Judas Priest. There are two that I don't fucking own. I don't own the Tim Ripper Owens Jugulator and fucking Demolition. So if you want to add those to the list, they'll be 18 and 17, and there we go. Same with the, like the Blaze Bailey shit from Iron Maiden. I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in Judas Priest trying to replace fucking Rob Halford, because everybody needs to understand Tim Ripper Owens he's a fucking great singer, but he's not fucking Rob Halford. And Rob Halford's a big fucking reason why we all listen to Judas Priest. It ain't fucking KK. I just saw just watched that fucking video the other day. KK's Priest. It was pretty rocking. It's a trip though, because I wasn't expecting that. It was kind of weird. I don't know. It's a fucking cool song. It fucking rocks, but I don't know. I was never this fucking huge KK Downing fan. Were you? I don't know. I mean, him and Glenn Tipton, I don't know. I just, when KK left, like, yeah, I didn't really notice. After he wrote fucking Nostradamus. Anyways, that KK's Priest. First of all, KK's Priest, like KK created Judas Priest. First of all, none of the original members of Judas Priest were left in the fucking band. So, like, even before KK left, none of those guys are original members of Judas Priest. They're not. Rob Halford's not. KK Downey's not. Glenn Tipton showed up like right before they recorded Rockarola. Ian Hill. They've had like the fucking revolving door of drummers over the years, but like none of those guys are original fucking members of Judas Priest. I mean, KK was probably in there the longest, so what does that make Judas Priest his? Not really. And really, come on, KK. Fuck, dude. Let it go. Now he's just mad. Now he's just lashing out. But it was cool. I fucking listened to it. I fucking watched the video. It's got a bunch of fire and shit. And Tim Ripper Owens is on vocals. And he fucking wails. I'll put what the song's called. And I think the album's coming out in like August or something. It's not something that I'm going to like fucking race out to buy. I'm not. I'm be perfectly fucking honest. I'm not gonna fucking. Now, if there was a new Priest album coming out this year, I would fucking race out to buy that. But KK, I'll probably end up getting it. But I'm just like, it was weird. I mean, he's like, he's up there shredding and everything, and it's like, dude, I don't know. I never looked at KK as like, oh my god, he's such a fucking amazing guitar player. I always looked at KK like, just stand there like playing rhythm. I know he played solos and shit, but wasn't like, dude, he's fucking amazing. But dude, he's been playing for 100 fucking years, so he should be amazing. Judas Priest. Whew. My very first album that I ever bought from Judas Priest, I didn't buy. Actually, I had a friend of mine give it to me. And it was Screaming for Vengeance, 1982. And I had a friend named Mike, and his parents, they had money. So, like, his parents used to spoil him, and they'd buy him whatever the fuck he wanted. And he would either try to be impressing a girl at the time. And, you know, we were in, like, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade maybe. Maybe 7th grade maybe. I don't know, we were like 12. So whatever, fucking, yeah, like 8th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever. You know, he would, whatever song was cool that the, like, girls were into, like, he'd have his mom go buy him the fucking album so he could play that one song. It was mind-blowing. But then he would get bored with the fucking one song. Okay, so there was a couple of albums that he did this with. I'll go over them real quick because I tend to ramble and move on and go all over the place. These are the albums that I got from Mike that he'd just fucking give to me because he would burn them out. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And when that came out in 81, after Bon Scott was dead and fucking, and, you know, like Black and Black was fucking huge, they finally released Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap by AC/DC in the States. And we got that weird album where they all have that black thing across their face and shit. And we fucking loved Big Balls. Everybody did. Like the high... See, we were always the smart kids, so we were always in the mixed class. So we were always in a grade where either... Like when we were in 8th grade, we were with 7th graders too. But when we were 7th graders, we were also with 8th graders. So, you know, they were a year older than us, so we were trying to impress them, especially if it was girls, you know, girls. But everybody loved Big Balls because they thought it was dirty and funny. I got big balls, and she's got big balls, but he's got the biggest... Oh, she's got the biggest balls of them all, you know. But we burned on that pretty quickly, so Mike would give me the fucking album, and then I was the one that was like, fuck Dirty Deeds. That's fucking awesome. I love that album. The other one was Kinks, Give the People What You Want. Everybody was infatuated with fucking Destroyer. Met a girl named Lola, and I took her back to my place, feeling there, getting cameras everywhere. Stop. Hold on. Stay in control. Girl, I want you here with me. You know. Burned through that fucking song. Mike would give me the album. I'd go home, play the whole fucking thing, and be like, oh, there's some really... That's one of my favorite Kinks albums. Asia. Fucking Heat of the Moment. I don't know why he didn't just fucking have his mom buy him the fucking singles, you know, because then he, you know... But I wasn't stopping him because it was like, hey, do you want this album? Fuck yeah, I'll take it. You know, we didn't have a lot of money, you know, so we were like, I'll fucking take what you get, you know. Hand me down albums, fuck yeah, you know. So, what was the other one? Oh yeah, Asia, yeah, Heat of the Moment. We used to just fucking sit in his room and fucking heat of the moment, caught in your eyes. Ooh. Okay, don't let it get to the second song. Put the fucking needle back. I didn't really get into that. I still, to this day, like, I'm not a huge fucking Asia fan. A couple of their albums, but and then another thing coming was huge. It was on the fucking radio. Yeah, they played it on KGB, and if they played it on KGB or we had the AM station was 13K or the Mighty 690. Those were the stations that when we were kids, you know, that they would play all the hits. If they played it on there and like people dug it, then Mike would fucking get it, and then he'd give it to me. So, another thing coming, that was a hit for a while, and he would never listen to anything else. So I remember he gave me that yellow fucking album, and I remember looking at the picture on the cover with the fucking screaming eagle thing, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But I remember playing the fuck out of that album because I loved it. And that was my intro to Judas Priest. So thank you, Mike. He's passed away a lot of years ago, but we get our music where we get it, So yeah, Screaming for Vengeance. I fucking like Priest. It was fun to draw Judas Priest's little logo on your book because you had to be like pretty good at it because it was kind of difficult. It was one of those. It was one of those bands that you fucking had to draw. It was like Def Leppard. When Def Leppard hit, when fucking MTV fucking made Def Leppard this fucking obnoxiously fucking huge band with Photograph and fucking, Rock of Ages and Foolin', everybody had to write. You had to write Def Leppard on your fucking book, but you had to do it in that fucking Def Leppard script, or you were a fucking loser. The older kids would write like Led Zeppelin, so we'd all put like Led Zeppelin, even though we weren't like cranking Zeppelin because we were like Zeppelin was done by then, and that was one of those bands, fucking Judas Priest. So I always fucking dug them, man. I always fucking was like, ooh yeah. Rob Halford, man, and he was just so fun to watch. You watch him on that Screaming for Vengeance tour. Where he's at the US Festival, and he's wearing like leather, and he's like, I just love the way like Rob would always like, what song was he singing? Devil's Child. Building my funeral pyre. He would like act out the lyrics. He's all sweating balls because he's fucking wearing like 100 pounds of fucking leather, and you're just like, yeah. Boom! And KK with his fucking flying V, fucking Gibson flying V. Fucking Judas Priest. I was saying it was really difficult to fucking do this. Like with my Megadeth one, it was hard because, dude, I fucking love Megadeth. I love like every fucking album they have except for like Super Collider, and even that album, I'll fucking listen to it, But Judas Priest, man, I thought, this would be easy, I'd fucking do the early shit and then whatever. But then when I started to dig in, it's like, fuck, this album's really good. Ooh, this album's really good. Like the number one, and that was hard. It was all hard, man. It was like my Maiden, like when I did the top 4 Maiden or the fucking Van Halen. It was like, fuck, how do you rank these? So I did the best I could. I listened to a bunch of fucking Priest this morning, and I was like, I try to not get dissuaded by other people's opinions. I've seen everybody rank the album. Oh, this is like, they bitch about this and that, and I'm not like that. There's been missteps in Judas Priest's career. Timber Perrones. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Rob left the band. He was like, peace out. He wasn't fired or anything. He fucking left, and then he went and formed Fight, and then he formed Halford, and then finally after, 15 years, he came back, and everybody was like, what? And they've been rolling ever since. Their last album, Firepower, was, these guys, even dude, they're still putting out albums that are fucking good. Most of these old bands like this, like Iron Maiden, they put out a shit ton. The last album they did was Book of Souls. It was a double album, had all those fucking songs on it. But Bruce's voice is kind of, tell me why I had to be a power slave. No, I'm just kidding. Halford's like, firepower. Like, what? It sounds like fucking. It all sounds kind of like Painkiller. Like the newer stuff is all in that Painkiller kind of vein. Because you'll see where like Rob Halford's vocals kind of shifted. Everything up to Painkiller, like he was like Rob Halford, and then all of a sudden, from like Painkiller on, It's more of like the fight Rob Halford or the fucking Halford Rob Halford, where it's more intense. It's fucking like his vocal style did change, you know. You can hear it on there, you know. But he still has the pipe. So 16 studio albums in my order. Gonna start at the bottom and work our way to the top. There's not any of these fucking albums. There's not a single one that I don't like. Even fucking, you know, like some of the ones that people bag on, like, dude, I'm happy every time Judas Priest comes out with an album as long as Rob Halford's the fucking singer. I fucking met Rob at the NAMM show one year, and he's fucking the nicest fucking dude. He sat there and talked, and he's a fucking cool guy, and I was just like, the metal god, you know, Bob the Beast Halford. So let's get at it here. We're gonna start off at the bottom with number 16, and that's gonna be Nostradamus. And that's probably bottom on a lot of people's list, just because it was unexpected. It's like 2008. And Judas Priest comes out with this double fucking album, concept album about Nostradamus, the prophecy, you know, the Frenchman. 13, the beast is rising, the Frenchman did foresee, or whatever, you know. Throwing some little fucking Maiden in there. I just did Maiden not too long ago, so. Some people, like, hate this fucking album. I don't hate it. There's some cool stuff on there. It's just really long, and you gotta, like, be in a fucking frame of mind to fucking, you know, digest this album. Nothing, like, overly fucking massive on here. I think Alone is, like, 750. That's, like, the longest song on here. Revelations is 7. Prophecy is really good. I like Revelations. Four Horsemen's good. There's fucking cool songs on here. It's all like one flowing kind of story. I know it's fun to watch people's reaction to this. Like Chris Allo, that guy that's always on Sea of Tranquility. He's like a rock critic or something. Guy from fucking New York, so he's got a ball cap on. He's fucking hilarious because he'll be like, I fucking hate this fucking album. Good God. I don't hate it. It's cool for what it is, but I don't, it's obviously, it's last on my list, so it's not one of those albums that I go, oh, dude. It's like Book of Souls, you know? It's like, fuck, that's a lot of time. I don't know. It fucking clocks in at fucking like 8,000 minutes long. What does it clock in at? Let's check it. It's 102 fucking minutes long. 102 minutes. Whoa. Whoa. I don't have 102 minutes to fucking, you know, give up on a fucking double fucking Judas Priest opus about fucking Nostradamus. I don't. So that's my pick for number 16. Nostradamus or Nostradamus or however the fuck you want to say it. It's got some cool moments. It's just not something I reach for, you know. Exiled. It's fucking. It's hard to pick good songs off of here because it's like a flowing tapestry of fucking madness. But Rob sounds great. I think this was like KK's brainchild. Well, this was like management came to them, is what I heard. And suggested they do this, but there was something about like this was KK's fucking baby. And this was kind of part of the reason why KK fucking retired, was like, fuck Judas Priest, you know, because like I think they were like, ooh, you know. Plus, you know, he always says he got bullied by Glenn Tipton. Okay. You're in the band for 50 fucking years. Yeah, whatever. So miserable. All right. Number 15. And this is, you know, everybody's fucking, you know, this is everybody's fucking touchstone. Everybody's fucking, you know, whipping boy. Turbo from 1986. In 1986, Judas Priest, like KK had the little perm and Rob had the weird, like, bouffant hairdo. And they had, like, cool matching outfits where they look like Space Rangers or some shit because that was MTV and that was what you look like. Beverage break. This is Poppy MTV fucking metal fucking Judas Priest from 1986. I popped it in. People fucking loathe this fucking album. Now, originally it was supposed to be called Twin Turbos. And it was supposed to be a double album. And it was supposed to have all like, kind of like the poppy shit on the front of it. And then on the back of it was supposed to be all the heavy fucking... Well, the record company was like, It was hard to push a double album back then, like record companies didn't really like to do that because it was expensive to make. It was, you put out a single album, fucking ship it. It was a lot easier to do than a double. And then, so they ended up like nixing the idea. So a lot of the songs, the heavier songs, fell to the wayside and went to the next album, which was Ram It Down in 88. So what we got was Judas Priest Light, and this album had synthesizers on it, and I was talking about it yesterday. This came out in the same year that Somewhere in Time came out from Iron Maiden. Everybody was using synthesizers and bullshit and blah blah. No one cares now, but back then when we were kids, we were just like, what? Because we had been programmed to hate synthesizers because Freddie Mercury used to put on the back of Queen albums, no synths, only real instruments, I guess. I don't know. I guess he was against synthesizers. It was weird. It was like watching that fucking creepy fucking Steven Spielberg movie with Haley Joel Osment as a little robot kid. Where they were like, kill the fucking, androids kind of shit. That was the synthesizer movement in the 80s. And then all of a sudden, everybody fucking used them, and then they all look like fucking hypocrites. So, yeah. But this album this was probably the time where I least liked Judas Priest. And the lost Tim Ripper Owen years where I didn't even give a fuck. But I can remember as a kid, like, this was 86, so I had seen fucking Metallica open for Ozzy on the fucking Ultimate Sin tour and watched Metallica, like, mop the fucking floor with this fat, frosty-haired, sequin-gowned fucking Ozzy looking imbecile compared to these fucking guys who came out and they were like, Master, puppets are pulling strings! And you were just like, oh, holy fuck. So, the balance of power had shifted. We started listening to fucking Megadeth and fucking Anthrax. And, I fucking remember around this time just like, I was kind of lost on some of these mainstream bands. I mean, Judas Priest become a mainstream band with this album. They weren't metal. This was fucking MTV rock, dude. It was fucking MTV metal. Also known in larger circles as hair metal, which we all know I fucking hate that term because it's fucking stupid. It's fucking MTV metal because that's what it was. It was fucking made to be on MTV. I don't know why people can't figure that shit out. It's like, why do you call it hair metal? What, because they had big hair? Graham Bonnet didn't have big hair. Was he in hair metal? I guess not, because he didn't have long hair. MTV metal, and this was fucking prime example MTV metal. So when I was a kid, when this came out, I loathed this fucking shit. And the reason why was because when you were a kid and you went and saw them on like Defenders of the Faith and you fucking loved fucking, fucking British Steel and you were just like, you were a Priest fan, then all of a sudden all these little goofy kids, you know, they were suddenly getting into Judas Priest because they're singing songs like, "We don't need no parental guidance here." You know, the kids, and I've said it before, it was like with, you know, like with Kiss or with like, you know, Van Halen with 5150. It was like, there's bands that you love deep in your heart, and then all of a sudden, like when they were breaking and everybody started to like them, you kind of felt like it took something away. Like when you start seeing like Skippy rolling by, sporting a fucking Turbo Lover shirt, and you're just like, what a fucking tool, you know. There was a lot of disregard for this album, and I can tell you, I was fucking standing on top of that fucking mountain, fucking staring down. I did. I fucking loathed this album. I remember when they came out with the video, Locked In, was the first video where they had like the little, looked like Ray Harryhausen fucking skeletons in the video where they're all fighting, you know. And I remember I was like, oh, that's a cool song, because Locked In, it kind of reminded me of like Point of Entry kind of fucking Priest. And then, you know, Turbo Lover, you know. And I didn't mind those songs. I don't mind Turbo Lover. I don't mind Locked In. Private Property is fucking stupid. Parental Guidance was, I don't know if it was a shot against the PMRC. It probably was. With Tipper Gore. That was like Judas Priest's way of giving him the finger, which is funny because then they ended up in court. Some kid offed himself listening. I don't know if he was listening to this fucking album. Yeah, I could understand why he fucking offed himself listening to Turbo, but he had songs, Private Property, Parental Guidance, Rock You All Around the World, Wild Nights, Hot and Crazy Days, Hot for Love. I mean, those songs are garbage. Reckless is alright, but Out in the Cold's really fucking good. And like I said, I don't mind Turbo Lover. We've all had, you know, 35 years to fucking digest this fucking album. You know, so it is what it is. Number 15. It's Turbo. It's what was fucking selling, and Judas Priest, you know, they had already come out with Vengeance. They'd already come out with Defenders of the Faith, so this was the next logical step. This was management knocking on the door saying, this MTV thing is pretty big. You guys should hop on and get some weird suits and perm your hair, KK, and go sing We Don't Need No Parental Guidance Here. Yeah, it was weak. So, Turbo. But, like I said, man, I don't hate this fucking album. I understand what it was because I went through it. So, I understand. You know, you see all these like little kids that weren't even fucking born in the fucking 80s. They're all like, Turbo. Blah. And you're like, shut the fuck up. Dude, you weren't there, so you have no reference. You have no fucking frame of reference. When you were a kid in school and we all had our little, you know, we'd be out in the quad and we'd be in our little cliques, you know, and we were the rocker kids, and a lot of my friends were like musicians, but then there was the other rocker kids that were just like the kind of the fucking stoner kids. And then you had those like goof kids where you're just like, you know, you were in the higher food chain, you were in the middle, which was the best place to be. It was like under the radar, man. Don't be noticed, but don't be totally disregarded. Like right in the middle. It was high school, man. It was judgy as fuck. But you know, you'd see somebody rolling up with their fucking Turbo Lover fucking tour shirt because Priest had just come here. We didn't go see Priest on the Turbo Lover tour. We were like, fuck those guys. We don't need no. I'm your Turbo Lover. Turbo Lover, number 15. Not going to beat that to death, but It's still a decent album. I'll fucking play it. I just fucking listened to it yesterday. So, there's nothing on there. There's nothing from Judas Priest that makes me retch. There's nothing. Everything I could fucking find at least 3 fucking songs that I would put on the comp list. So that's why this was so fucking hard. Number 14. God damn. Number 14, 1974's Rock-a-Rolla. A rock and roll woman for a rock and roll man. This was Judas Priest before they kind of found their identity. I think fucking like Glenn tipped in and joined the band like 8 minutes before this album was recorded. Before this, like Judas Priest was a band from Birmingham. They grew up in the same neighborhood as fucking Black Sabbath. They were like, this is like, I used to have utter disdain for this album. I mean, it's number 14, so it's not like way up on my list. But I've definitely listened to it more than I used to. I remember now, the thing is that Judas Priest was signed to Gull Records. Their first 2 albums, Rock-a-Rolla and fucking Sad Wings of Destiny, they were on Gull Records. And Gull Records was not doing them any justice because they had no money, so there was no promotion or anything. So these guys were like literally fucking starving to death. They were like, their stories were like, Rob Oliver would say they would all like eat like 1 meal a day. They all had day jobs and shit. They were working in mills and doing whatever the fuck they could, and they were like fucking eating a candy bar, and that was their food for the day. And then they got approached by was it Capitol? CBS, right? Let's fucking look it up. I think it was CBS. Boom, boom, boom. Columbia. They got approached by Columbia, and Columbia had to buy out their like contract to get them out of this shitty fucking Gull record contract. And but the only way they could get out of it was basically they gave those first 2 albums away. They basically like Gull Records fucking owned them. And there was nothing they could do. They had to move forward. They were like, well, fuck, if you want to get away from Gull Records, just give them the fucking records. They fucking own all the rights to them. And fucking A. So for many years, when we were kids, you always saw like that different cover of Rock-a-Rolla with that weird monster on it holding a bomb. Like I'll post it up here. And then you saw Sad Wings of Destiny. And then there was an album called Hero Hero, which I have. Because, and it was always in the import section where you would see it in like Circus Magazine, along with like, the Australian versions of like TNT and fucking High Voltage and Dirty Deeds done dirt cheap, which is weird because I fucking remember seeing that and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then all of a sudden Dirty Deeds comes out like years later and we're like, oh, I could have ordered that fucking years ago. And Hero Hero is just basically like a mixture of the first 2 albums kind of smashed together. Because, Gull Records, once Priest hit, Gull Records tried to fucking milk those first 2 albums as much as they could fucking possibly milk them. And it was just unfortunate that that they didn't get, they couldn't keep those albums. It's unfortunate. But anyways, Rock-a-Rolla. Rock-a-Rolla woman for a rock-a-rolla man. The thing about this album is like, it's not very priesty, but it is kind of priesty. Like, when you listen to, like, One for the Road's cool, Rock-a-Rolla is cool. Like Winter and then Deep Freeze and then Winter Retreat. It's like weird. Cheater. Run of the Mill. It sounds kind of Sabbathy in spots. It does. It's kind of like a hard rock kind of. There's definitely some gloom on here. This was Priest kind of hadn't really found their identity. I mean, rock sounds great on this album, so they had that, but this isn't really one of those albums where you're like, yeah, Go Records, you can keep that one. Ooh, it was hard for them to keep fucking Sad Wings of Destiny, though. But this album, it was cool. I don't pop it on a lot, but I've listened to it over the years. I am not saying I've softened on it because I never hated it, but it was also one of those albums where I was like, I didn't really find a lot that was like, oh, this is a fucking staple Judas Priest song. Like, I don't think they play anything off of this. I don't think so, but I'll look it up. All right, that was number 14, 1974, Rock-a-Rolla. I'm gonna go number 13. I'm gonna go 2014's Redeemer of Souls, and I have like the Ultra Deluxe version, which had like 50 fucking songs on it. I had like 18 fucking songs on it. This is a cool album. I fucking dig it. There's some cool fucking songs on here. A lot of songs though. Like a lot. Produced by Mike Exeter and Glenn Tipton. This one doesn't sound quite as good as Angel of Retribution, and it doesn't sound quite as good as Firepower. This one's kind of smashed in between there. So it's kind of why I rated it 14. It has way too many songs. Dragonaut is fucking cool. The title track's cool. Halls of Valhalla. There's a lot of fucking songs on here. Cold Blooded. Hell and Back. Secrets of the Dead. It's got Battle Cry, which I have like the live. Don't have the live version. Yeah, Battle Cry. 2016 is like a live fucking show. It's cool. Is this the first album? I think this is the first album with Richie Faulkner on it. Yeah. Is it? I think so. I want to say it is. I always watch Richie. He's always on Instagram, and like I'll see I'll see him pop up. He's always doing like live shit where he's just sitting there jamming. I guess he's bored right now. I don't know. Like, I know Priest. I thought they were working on another album, but Richie Faulkner, he looks. He's a way better player than fucking KK. I'm sorry, and I know KK is a fucking. He's a fucking staple fucking creator of fucking Judas Priest shit. So like, I'm not knocking KK because he's fucking KK Downing, dude. Glenn Tipton, KK Downing, Ian Hill, fucking Rob Halford, and drummer. Add a name. Les Binks, fucking Dave Holland, Creeper. Scott, fucking Travis, Who else was in there? Ansley Dunsbar. Was he in fucking... Who the fuck was on the first one? I'm going to look because I'm fucking curious. But it's fun to watch Richie because he gets bored, so he just goes online. He always has like 100,000 guitars, and he's like, John Hinch was the drummer on the first album. John Hinch. And we all know John Hinch from Nowhere. Just kidding. John Hinch. Oh, he's dead, so that sucks. Good job, Matt. Make fun of a dead guy. Oh, fuck, he's dead. I can make fun of him. I make fun of Bon Scott. Don't give a fuck. John Bonham. Drink myself to death. Yeah. Why am I playing Sabbath? Nobody drank himself to death in Sabbath. Ozzy tried, though. Give him fucking, some points. But, what the fuck? Yeah, I always get a little notification. It's like Richie Faulkner live, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, do you have anything else to do except sit in a fucking room with your fucking Marshall full stack in the corner?" And just like, that's all he does. He fucking grabs his. He always has a flying V, and he's like, sitting there jamming Priest songs. Pretty fucking cool. So, Redeemer Souls had a bunch of songs. But I felt like the production was like a little step back from definitely from Firepower, Andy Sneap. But like bunch of songs, fun to listen to, but like when you have that many songs, man, your attention span is not that long, and that's that's a problem with like, dude, 8, 9 good songs, like fucking top shelf songs, and then move on. You don't have to put. I know it's CD age, and it's like, fuck, dude, I gotta put on 18 fucking songs on this album because the people listen to it. By the time they get to like number 10 or 11, they're fucking looking drooling. Most of the time nowadays, I pop in a CD or fucking download a fucking song. By the time I haven't found any mystical fucking gems at song number 19. I haven't been like, fuck, dude, that's fucking amazing. It was supposed to be like, fuck, the opening track and like the first 8 songs maybe. And then after that, you're like, yeah, well, I got fucking shit to do. But yeah, Redeemer of Souls. Like I said, I bought the deluxe edition. That was the other thing too. Is like, I'm just as OCD as fucking everybody else. So it's like I fucking hate it that they come out with like the regular album that has this many songs, and then the bonus album, and that has this many songs. And then the deluxe album, and that has this many songs. And of course, I'm gonna, you start looking at the price. You're like, it's a couple bucks. You're like, order that motherfucker. Yeah, I love Amazon. But just stop all that bullshit. I fucking hate that. It's all about money, which I get because these guys, most of the stuff when they get downloads and shit like that, they don't get the money that they used to get back in the day. They used to get a percentage of the fucking album sales, and that's where they made their millions, and then they fucking go out on tour. COVID hits, they get no fucking tour money, and now they get all the streaming and shit, and they get like a nickel for every 400 million songs fucking streamed. So they get $1.50. I was seeing a tweet or something, and it was like, Peter Frampton, like one of his songs got like fucking streamed like 6 million times, and he got a check. He fucking put it on there because he was pissed. He got a check for like $1.91 or something. 5 million people have listened to his fucking song, and he got $1.91. Here you go. But then again, dude, you haven't came out with anything in 100 fucking years. How many times do I have to rebuy a fucking album? I understand the artist's point of it, but I also got to understand my fucking point of view. And it's like, how many fucking times do you want me to keep paying for the same song? Like, shouldn't I fucking own it by now? Fucking bought the original, bought the fucking, bought the vinyl, bought the cassette, bought the CD, bought the remaster, bought the fucking download because it had, blah, blah, blah. Then you got the super deluxe ultra fucking box set with fucking, you're buying fucking albums like 6 fucking times. 4, 5, 6 fucking times. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Music, the gift that keeps on giving. Like, it's like the Jelly of the Month Club, I should call Eddie. All right. Next, we're going to go number 12. And we're going to go 2018. We're going to go Firepower. Firepower. When this fucking album first came out, when I first got it, that's got 14 songs on it. Holy shit. Firepower, Lightning Strike, Evil Never Dies, fucking Necromancer, Citizen of Children of the Sun, fucking Rising from Ruins, Flamethrower. Fuck, this album is fucking solid. It's just got a couple too many fucking songs. When this album first came out, or when I first bought it, I was like, is this a fucking Judas Priest album that's been like, being held back in the vaults or something, and now they're finally releasing it like 10 years later, or what the fuck? But no, it's not. And it's fucking amazing. Now, by this time, I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up, but I think by this time Glenn's out of the band. Because Glenn has, like, what, multiple sclerosis? What the fuck does Glenn have? This was produced by Tom Allom, that Tom Allom production, and Andy Sneap. And I think Andy Sneap plays on this album. I want to check. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, Glenn, nope. It says Glenn Tipton played on this fucking album, so, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this was the album where, like, oh, he has Parkinson's. That's what he has. So, this is the album where, like, Glenn played on and they're all gearing up for the tour, and this was, like, 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden, like, Glenn can't go. He can't do it. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, Glenn Tipton has fucking Parkinson's. And, Ozzy has Parkinson's, and you're just like, well, we understand Ozzy having fucking Parkinson's because when you consume that much fucking dope, that much fucking alcohol in your fucking entire life, I mean, Ozzy's done so many fucking drugs and drank so much shit that a normal person, like, if they even just smelled half the shit that Ozzy fucking did, they would just be dead. Like, vaporized. They would just explode like scanners. The fact that Ozzy's still alive is fucking mystical. Like, we know he's in league with Satan. He has to be. Fucking any normal human being would be fucking dead 10 times over from the kind of shit that Ozzy did. Same with Keith Richards, though, too. Those fucking Led Zeppelin guys. Jesus. What was that? From Get Him the Greek is like an English rock stars never die. Fuck, Ozzy Osbourne's gonna outlive Miley Cyrus. Fucking Sean Puffy Combs. Puff Daddy. So KK retired after Nostradamus. He retired because he was pissy, and then all of a sudden Glenn can't go. He's got fucking Parkinson's. And he would show up and come out and play a couple songs. Like, he went on tour with them, and he would come out and play when he could. But they had to get another guitar player, so they got Andy Sneap. And so now you have Richie Faulkner and Andy Sneap. So really, the only original members of the band now is Rob Halford and fucking Ian Hill. Fucking Ian Hill, who will never die. He's fucking immortal, too. That guy who doesn't wear that zipper jumpsuit that he used to wear. Ian Hill's like that big burly dude with big fucking biker beard, and he would wear this fucking like spandex jumpsuit with just a zipper, like, free balling out there, Not somebody, it'd be like Michael Anthony wrapped in shrink wrap. Oh, not something you want to see. But, and that's where we are now. And so now, and then all of a sudden, the weird thing is that, so Glenn can't go, and then all of a sudden, they're getting phone calls or emails or however the fuck KK fucking communicates with them, and all of a sudden he's saying, well, I'll come back. You retired from the band, and, you're going to come back because now Glenn's gone? Because, apparently they did not get along for a lot of years. And KK, I didn't read his fucking book because I'm not really that interested in fucking KK Downing. Really not. But apparently they didn't get along. But now Glenn's can't go. So now all of a sudden KK's like, oh, dude, I'll come back. I'll come back and fucking be back in Priest. And they were like, no. You fucking retired, dude. Fuck you. Peace out. So now KK's all mad. Ugh, fuck Judas Priest. I'm gonna come out with KK's Priest. You fucking 10, dude? Come on. I watched the video on there, fucking Ripper Owens, it's got fire, and it's really 80s, They don't get too close to KK so you don't see the cracks. How fucking old that motherfucker is, because he's in his 70s, for Christ's sakes. But I saw people comment like, oh, now we have 2 priests. That's awesome. And you're like, no, you don't, dude. It's fucking, there's Judas Priest, and then now you got KK's solo band. It's not Judas Priest. You can't say KK Downing was Judas Priest. Like, I'm sorry, you can't. He wasn't that prolific of a writer where he was like, all his shit was like the staple fucking Judas Priest songs. Yeah, he wrote some shit. But he wasn't like, oh my god, but it was like KK Downing, Glenn Tipton, KK Downing, twin guitar, whatever. Anyways, Firepower is fucking awesome. We'll see what comes out next, Andy Steep's a great guitar player, so is fucking Richie Faulkner. They're definitely an upgrade from, KK, but then you start to question, like, the songwriting now, because now, I don't know if Glenn's going to keep writing with them. He's going to do what he can do, I guess. I mean, he hasn't, like, fully given up Priest. But at the same time, it makes you wonder, like, what direction they're going to go in. Because, Glenn Tipton was still there. It was still kind of an anchor. And now he's gone or, whatever. So it'll be weird to see what happens. But fucking Firepower was amazing. So dig it. Number 11, we're going to go 2005, Angel of Retribution. This is the first album with Rob Halford back in the band. Rob Halford has returned from the dead, to resurrect fucking Judas Priest. I remember I bought this album and I was like, yeah. I mean, I listened to Rob Halford. I wasn't like hugely like, oh, I love Fight. I mean, I have all this shit. I have all the Fight albums. I have all the Halford albums. I even have that weird, creepy 2 album he did with like Trent Reznor. Whoa. There are certain cringeworthy times in certain people's career where they do something that you just go, the fuck? That's definitely one of them. One of the other ones, listen to Alex Lifeson, Victor. Alex Lifeson did a solo album, and it's called Victor. Listen to that. You'll never look at fucking Alex Lifeson ever again the same way. You won't. You'll be like, what the fuck? All this time, that guy with the skinny tie, with the moppy Motti kind of fucking, Duran Duran hair that was fucking playing Limelight and shit. Like, you listen to his fucking solo album, you're like, oh, that dude's a fucking serial killer. Like, what the fuck? Same with 2. I mean, we all know Rob's sexuality. We don't give a fuck. Like, I called out Rob Halford when I was a kid in fucking high school when I was like 13. I remember we had this conversation where we were looking at Cream Magazine. There was a picture, and it was like, I'll see if I can find it, maybe. There's a picture of Rob, and he's got his spikes and his hat and a riding crop, And there's 2 girls standing next to him, and they're like this far on each side of him, and he's not touching them. And I remember telling my friends, like, dude, I'm pretty sure Rob Halford's gay. And they were blown, what? Oh, no way! And I'm like, and then years and years later, when he finally came out and said, oh, I've always been a gay man, I was like vindicated. I told you he was fucking gay. Like, dude, but the thing is like, I don't give a fuck, and like nobody should, because first of all, he's fucking Rob Halford. He's fucking amazing. I remember I met him at the NAMM show, and I was hanging out with him, and like we took a bunch of pictures and stuff. And we were talking, and because he has a house here in San Diego, and I was saying, oh yeah, I go, hey, don't you live in San Diego? And he lives in like Arizona, like Phoenix. But he does have a house in Hillcrest, which is like the gay community here in San Diego. And I remember I was like, oh yeah, don't you have a house in Hillcrest? He's like, oh yeah, it's my home away from the freezing fucking cold of London. And he was super nice. But I remember like posting pictures with him, and my dumbass juvenile friends are like, did you try and pinch her butt? No. you know, no. What? Because he's gay? He was like trying to lick on my neck or something? No, he's a fucking professional person. He's fucking amazing. It's fucking Rob Halford. I fucking love him, dude. And if he pinched my butt, I'd have been like, Rob, yeah. Alright, we're gonna stop now. Okay, so Angel of Retribution comes out. I go get it. I put it on, and I'm like, Judas is rising. And this is like where Painkiller left off. Like it's like Rob was gone for 15 fucking years, like a decade and a half, and then this is like the next day. It was like Painkiller was yesterday, and fucking Angel of Retribution is today. It was like didn't skip a beat. Just there you go. Let's deal with the devil. As a revolution, as worth fighting for, demonizer, wheel of fire. As Angel Hellrider, fucking eulogies, kind of, yeah. The album ender, in true Iron Maiden fashion, is this fucking 13-minute, 23-second odyssey called Loch Ness, which is weird because it's like one word, Loch Ness, which I'm pretty sure it's Loch Ness. I'm pretty sure it's two words. Loch, lake in like Scottish, like fucking Sean Connery. I can't do. All of a sudden I'm going Australian today, which is funny because when I always try and do an Australian accent, I fucking end up talking like Sean Connery. Today, I'll say I'm fucking Australian, mate. Haven't you ever lost anything like a car keys? I always wanted to say goulash. Sean Connery says goulash. You can put, like, the funny thing is like, you can put on English accent, you fucking talk like this, it's not that fucking difficult. I mean, that's, some people, like, they fucking, like, are amazed when people, like, fucking talking like a British person, but it's not that fucking hard. I don't understand why people, like, think it's fucking difficult, because it's really fucking not. That was weird, right? Loch Ness, man. It's fucking 13 and a half minutes long. It's on the fucking Redemption album that fucking Rob Halford has come to fucking vibe fucking Judas Priest. Because at this point, fucking Judas Priest fell off a cliff. The shit with Ripper Owens, like, first of all, you can't even get, even if I wanted to, like, go down that road, it's not even in print. Like, it's fucking expensive and hard to find, and it's not fucking worth it. It's $100 to get this fucking Demolition CD. Fuck no. It was fucking crazy because, like I said, I saw Judas Priest in 90. I'll put the date here. On the Painkiller tour. And then fucking Rob Halford was gone. And I don't know what the fuck happened, but, like, he just fucking left. Now, Painkiller was a fucking, like, when you go from Ram It Down to fucking Painkiller, like, Painkiller was fucking hardcore fucking album, dude. It was a fucking game changer. It was fucking Judas Priest, like, oh, Oh, everybody else is being hard and fucking speed metal and fucking thrash and fucking black metal and all this shit. Oh, well, here, we're fucking Judas Priest. We'll fucking come out with an album that'll kick the shit out of you. And they did. But I don't know if, like, their decision was like, oh, I don't know if we want to keep doing the hard shit. And Rob Halper was like, I want to do the fucking hard shit. Because when he left, he went and formed Fight, which is, like, hardcore fucking metal. And then, you know, Halford was a little bit more accessible, but Fight was like, you know, fuck. So it was fucking hardcore. You know, Rob would come in with a fucking white beater on and fucking big long fucking cholo shorts, and he's, you know, that's when he got those fucking tattoos on the side of his head and shit. And you're just like, what the fuck? But yeah, so when he came back with this Angel of Retribution, there was definitely that painkiller feel in a lot of songs. Rob's voice, it's fucking scary. But then they do Loch Ness, and people piss on this song. I always see, like, you know, people like, ugh. I listened to it. I fucking listened to it yesterday, and it's a fucking long ass song, but it's fucking Judas Priest. So, like, yeah, it's fucking long, and he keeps saying Loch Ness over and over like 100 times, but like, it wasn't awful. It's not Rime of the Ancient Mariner where I fucking love it. I mean, I fucking love Rime of the Ancient Mariner. But it's definitely, you know, they're fucking exploring their fucking Loch Nessy kind of fucking side. You know, they were sitting on the shore of Loch Ness, watching the fucking waves go by. And right behind them was fucking Aleister Crowley's fucking house where Jimmy Page used to fucking live, but it burned to the fucking ground because fucking evil lived there. You just gotta fucking sit there and watch Loch Ness. Fucking listen to it and be like, oh, this is fucking Judas Priest. I fucking love it. It's fucking great. Fucking Rob Halford. You know, that's what you gotta do. You gotta fucking put on Loch Ness. You gotta put on the fucking English accent. And you just gotta go with it. And that's what happens, you know. So, overall, though, it's number 11, but like I said, man, dude, I love all these fucking albums. This was the hardest fucking one that I had to do. Because even, you know, like Firepower's 12, I fucking love that album. You know, fucking Angel of Retribution's 11, I fucking love that album. I'll fucking put it on anytime, man. It's fucking great. I fucking love that album. That was the album, the comeback album. Fucking, like, they didn't skip a beat. It was like all those fucking weird things that they did when they were apart. All that fucking terrible shit that fucking Judas Priest was fucking in the toilet, dude. Like, they couldn't play a fucking, you know, a fucking 7-Eleven parking lot. You know, they would get arrested. They'd be like, hey, get out of here, you know. They couldn't. They fucking, it was crazy, man. This was like Painkiller. I saw the Painkiller tour. And then they just fucking, you know, they go from playing a headliner arenas around the fucking, I think like they sold out. So it was like 2 shows. I wasn't aware of that until like I was doing some research the other day. There was actually 2 shows, and I saw the second show. I think it was like November 10th, 1990, I want to say. Fucking Megadeth opened for them on the fucking Rust in Peace Rust in Peace Megadeth. Opened. I remember that because I remember hating on them. Because Dave's such an asshole. He's like introducing the band, you know, like Marty Friedman. And I'm like, Marty Friedman's in fucking Megadeth? You know, because I was really following Megadeth. But I knew who fucking Marty Friedman was because, you know, we grew up with all those little Shredder albums. Cacophony with fucking Jason Becker. Dragon's Kiss. Fucking Marty Friedman. And I remember, like, you know, Nick Menza, David Ellison Jr. And then Dave goes, well, you know who the fuck I am. Like you're like, I do know who you are, asshole. But you're a fucking opening band, so calm the fuck down. Don't act like you're fucking taking over the world. You know, that was my point of view at that time. I remember that. That kind of stuck with me because I was like, fucking asshole. But yeah, Priest, fucking Rob rolled out on the Harley, and then they disappeared. And we're talking 15 fucking years. I put this fucking CD in, and 15 years gone. And you're just like, not all bands like this worked out like this. But Judas Priest is the exception in my book because, dude, they didn't skip a beat. I swear to God, it's like, here's Painkiller. The next day, Angel of Retribution. It's a great fucking album. But it's ranked number 11. So, number 10. We're going to go 1988, Ram It Down. Ram It Down. People are going to go, why would you rank Ram It Down that fucking high over fucking all those other albums? Because I'm not an asshole and I don't fucking piss on this album as much as everybody else. It's funny how you watch people and they sit there and go, hey, they fucking Judas Priest and fucking Johnny B. Good on this album. That's fucking lame. Well, did you make a fucking album? Did you? I'm just saying. It's easy to sit back in the chair and say, oh, that sucked. Well, I didn't see you out there fucking making fucking Ram It Down with Judas Priest. So, I don't fucking hate this. I don't hate any fucking Judas Priest album. Even, like I said, like Nostradamus and Turbo, like those are not albums that I want to pop on right now, but I don't fucking hate them. Same with Ram It Down, man. Ram It Down has one of my favorite fucking Judas Priest songs of all fucking time on this fucking album. And people can piss and moan about it, but... So they came out with Turbo in 86, and like I said, it was supposed to be called Twin Turbo. It was supposed to be a double album. Fucking record company said, fuck no, so they kind of ended up ditching some of the songs onto this album. They, want to say, blue, 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 doo, doo, doo. Yeah, Columbia Records said, fuck no. So, Ram It Down, Hard as Iron, Love You to Death, and Monsters of Rock were written for the Twin Turbo. All right, Ram It Down, the title track. It's fucking great. I love the song Heavy Metal's cool. Hard as Iron's fucking cool. And Monsters of Rock is cool. I love those songs. Johnny B. Good, it's okay, but I've heard people like lose their fucking mind. Apparently they're not popping out the Peter Tosh fucking reggae version of fucking Johnny B. Good and shitting all over that too. That's a fucking great song. I don't mind it. It's a fucking throwaway cover. It's not like it fucking cost you anything extra. That's what's so weird about when people lose their shit over like, oh, what a misstep fucking Judas Priest did doing fucking Johnny B. Good. Dude, they're Judas Priest. They'll do whatever the fuck they want. And you'll fucking love it or you'll fucking hate it. But either way, don't question their fucking, they fucking did it. It was supposed to be like on a soundtrack or some shit. Anyways, they did it. I don't mind it. I'll put it on. It's all right. It's not anything like I'm like. I'd rather hear the actual Peter Tosh version or the Elvis version or the Chuck Berry version. I mean, obviously. But this album has fucking Blood Red Skies. And I fucking love that song. I'm sorry. I fucking love Blood Red Skies. I'll fight you under blood red skies. Oh my God. Fucking one of my favorite fucking Judas Priest songs of all time. So, Ram It Down. Like I said, some of these songs kind of filtered over. It's a fucking cool album, but it was kind of like, this is kind of like one of those albums where you kind of lost track of Judas Priest for a little while. And then all of a sudden, fucking Painkiller came out. But, like, Ram It Down's kind of that album. It's kind of loose and mysterious. It wasn't like, I don't remember, like, going, oh, fucking seeing a bunch of promotion on fucking Ram It Down. Ram It Down. I do remember there was a fucking, I remember it was like a commercial or something because they had that big fist punching into the earth. It's a cool fucking album cover too. Like, I've heard people like piss on that, like, oh, that's fucking lame. Shut the fuck up. Stop bitching about shit. It's fucking Ram It Down. Way back in Louisiana among the Evergreen. There's a bum boy named Johnny Be Good. Go, go! Go, Johnny, go! Go! You hear the fucking Halford singing, Johnny Be Good! It's fucking awesome. It's like Gene Simmons singing When You Wish Upon a Star. Fuck you, it's awesome. Number 9, I'm going to go 1977. Sin After Sin. This is Priest's third album, their first album with Columbia. This is the album that, you know, launched them to where they fucking sold all their old shit off to Gull Records and ran the fuck away. This is where they could actually get maybe 2 meals a day and they weren't fucking starving to death, you know. They weren't stealing fucking grapefruits off some old lady's tree so they didn't get fucking scurvy, you know. But out of the earlier Judas Priest albums, like this one, I felt was kind of weaker a little bit than some of the stuff that was before and after it, because they went on, Judas Priest went on a fucking tear after this album. But yeah, sit up! Sit up! Sit up! It has Diamonds and Rust, which is weird because Diamonds and Rust was already in the can, because Gull Records fucking owned that version. It was on Hero Hero. I know that. Was it on my version of Rock-a-Rolla? Yeah, it was on my version of Rock-a-Rolla. Diamonds, Diamonds and Rust. It's a fucking Joan Baez song, and fucking Priest made it their own. I fucking love that. It's a fucking great song. People bag on it, but it's fucking great. Starbreaker is fucking cool. Then this album gets kind of weird. It goes Last Rose of Summer. It gets all mellow and weird. Let Us Pray, Call for the Priest. Raw Deal. But then it has Dissident Aggressor. Jesus. Wow! Red Channels! You're like, what the fuck? Mine has bonus tracks with was Race with the Devil and then like a Jawbreaker Live. I don't know. Hey, let's come out with a remaster of Sin After Sin and we'll put Jawbreaker Live on it. That's fucking odd, don't you think? This fucking song won't come out for another 7 years, but we'll put it on this fucking album. That made no fucking sense. But Sin After Sin, it's a fucking cool album. Like I said, I love all these fucking albums. It's number 9. It has some fucking great moments on it. It's a little soft in the middle. But, dude, it has some fucking Dissident Aggressor, for Christ's sake. Didn't fucking Slayer cover that? I was like... there are moments on all these fucking Priest albums from, like, Sad Wings up into the middle echelon area where you're just like, they came out with some shit. You know, they were fucking doing like speed metal and fucking all kinds of shit that everybody copied. So, and these guys were what, like before the new wave of British metal. And that's what's weird, you know, because new wave of British metal was like, I mean, they were like at the cusp. Priest have been around for a long time. First album was 74, for Christ's sakes. It was the same year as fucking Rush, you know. So, but then, you know, they got lumped into the new wave of British metal because they were, you know, some of their more popular albums were around that time. So, but then, you know, you got to look back at like 78 and 2 fucking albums. So, I don't know. I think they're like the precursor to fucking British metal. They were the fucking granddaddies of fucking British metal, you know. These guys grew up with fucking Black Sabbath. They're all the fucking same age, so. Crazy. So that's number 9. Sin After Sin, 1970. Judas Priest Mass Metal Show. Stay tuned for part number 2. Yeah!